times. Discussing politics, the things that make us tick. On the Roberts, on the Roberts, on the Roberts Show. Now welcome to the Roberts Show. Welcome to the Roberts Show. You ain't gotta go. Welcome to the Roberts Show. Welcome to the Roberts Show. The Roberts Show.
Good afternoon and welcome to the Roberts Show. So glad you tuned in. We have a great show for you this afternoon. I have a young man here that's going to knock you off your feet, hopefully. He's running for political office, and he's going to be up in a few minutes, and we're going to interview him and talk with him, and he's going to let you know what he stands for, his platform, and things of that nature. We're glad you tuned in. You know, as I always say, go to that refrigerator, get that pop, get that beverage, get a sandwich, call a friend and let them know that the Roberts Show is on the air. You know, this is WHPR TV 33. So let them know that. You know, we want to give a shout out to all the people in the state of Texas, especially Houston, for what they're going through right now. We're sending our prayers your way, and we hope that everything comes out just as it should, in divine order. We're going to take a commercial break at this time, and then we're going to be right back with our guests. So, like I say, call a friend. Let them know that we're on the air so that you don't miss anything. Go to that refrigerator right now. So we'll be right back. We're going to take a commercial break.
Enjoy real time. On the Roberts Show. Discussing politics, the things that make us tick. On the Roberts, on the Roberts, on the Roberts Show. Now welcome to the Roberts Show. Welcome to the Roberts Show. You ain't gotta go. Welcome to the Roberts Show. Welcome to the Roberts Show. The Roberts Show.
What if you had a chance to do it all over? What if you found that chance to make things right? To take back from what the enemy stole from you. It's time to wake up. It's time to wake up and fight. For the battle of righteousness is yours, and we take it by force.
Beat 'em up, man.
Well, welcome back to the show. As you can see, I have Tassari with me right now, Mr. Tassari, who is running for City Council, District 2. Why don't you say hello to the people?
Hey everybody, my name is Nguvu Tasare. I'm your write-in choice for Detroit City Council District 2, and I'm very happy to be here. Thank you for having me, Robert.
It's my
Appreciate
pleasure.
it.
It's my pleasure. So I want you to tell the people about your campaign and what you're standing for and where you hope to be headed.
Absolutely. So, like I said, I'm running for Detroit City Council District 2. I am a write-in candidate, and I'm running on a platform to decrease crime, increase economic opportunity, and strengthen public services, and do it in a way that centers our residents as the solutions to our challenges and not treat them as the challenges themselves.
So when you say you're a write-in candidate, that means when we go to the polls, we have to write your name in.
Yes, so
correct?
on November 7th, that's the general election day, voters who are going to the polls who have not already cast their absentee ballot will have the option to write my name underneath the names of the two individuals who are on the ballot. And so it's important that District 2 residents know that they truly have a viable third option to consider in this race.
Okay, and what made you decide to run?
Well, you know, when I moved to District 2 a little bit over a year ago, I had no intention to ever run for office.
Okay.
As someone who's an activist, an organizer, and I've been doing this community work for my entire life, I had no desire for that. However, as I got to learn the lay of the political land in this district and realized that there was not going to be someone in this race who came from a background of community work, of community activism and organizing, I felt that God called me to be the change that I wanted to see. And so I decided to run. And even though I missed the deadline to change my voter registration, which was the reason why I had to run as a write-in candidate, my
Okay.
team and I still felt that it was important for someone with the new ideas and the new solutions that I'm bringing to the table to be in this race.
Okay, now what are some of the things that you want to bring to the table?
So what makes me different from anybody else running in this race is that I'm not necessarily just talking about what I believe. I'm also talking about what I'm going to do on day one,
Okay.
should the voters choose me to represent them. And I'm making a promise. I call it the Tasare Promise.
Okay.
And the Tasare Promise says that in 4 years, there are going to be three key things that happen. One, every single neighborhood is going to have a radio patrol. Period.
Okay, okay.
Two, we are either going to have achieved or be in the process of achieving tax abatements and tax breaks for small businesses in the city of Detroit. I think that it's important that if we can find the political will to give all these tax breaks and giveaways to corporations and millionaires and billionaires, then we should be giving the same types of abatements and easements to the people who actually create the bulk of jobs in our city, and that's small businesses.
Okay.
And then the third thing is we're going to have higher home ownership, and we're going to have lower crime, in part because of my $1 One Dream initiative, which is a program that the voters can find out more about on my website, www.nguvutasare.com.
Okay, now what about education? Do you plan on doing anything about the education?
I do. So it's funny that you bring up education. You know, one of the things that, as I've gotten more involved on the establishment side of politics, I hear a lot of elected officials who are not on the school board say the same thing over and over. Well, that's not my jurisdiction.
Oh,
Education
wow.
is not my jurisdiction. And they leave it there. Well, it's true. As a city councilman, I will have no control over the educational system in the city. However, what makes me different is that I still believe that it's my responsibility to stand in solidarity with the parents and the children of my district and do what I can do in my capacity as city councilman. And so one of the things that I will achieve in 4 years is a district-wide tutoring program to help fill the gaps and help support, you know, the public schools that are in my district and help those students have a higher chance to succeed.
Okay, now you're a young man.
I am. I'm 28 years old.
28 years old.
Yes,
You
sir.
hear that, everyone? And that's what we need. We need young people with good minds and things of that nature that can bring some more things to the table than some of the people that are doing right now. So what are your beliefs? What do you stand up for?
Oh, man. Well, as an activist, my work has been predominantly in black activist work. And so since, you know, my mother, you know, she likes to tell people, you know, she jokes and says, you know, I came out of her womb with my fist in the air. You can see I'm wearing a I Support New Era Detroit t-shirt. just so my team knows, I know they're watching. They wouldn't let me wear my green campaign shirt because of the background.
It's
So
green, yeah. And you wouldn't have been able to see him.
exactly. So I just want to let them know that. But you know, I have been involved in black activist politics since I was a young teenager. I founded the Black Student Union at my predominantly white high school outside of Lansing, Michigan. Then I moved to Detroit when I was 18, and that was a time when 18-year-olds were leaving the city, not moving to the city. And I moved here because I wanted to be surrounded by people who looked like me. I had never had that before. And so I started doing HIV work, HIV prevention work in the city, moved to Chicago when I became a flight attendant, which I'm still doing. That's my career, 7 years. And I joined President Obama's church, Trinity United Church of Christ, got involved with the prison ministry and did work around mass incarceration. Moved to D.C., became the vice chair of the D.C. chapter of the National Black United Front. And here in Detroit, I've been the director of development for New Era Detroit for 2 years. And so
Okay.
that's really my passion. I stand up for black people. I stand up for the issues that matter to black people. And I'm very unapologetically pro my community.
Okay, there's nothing wrong with that. Now, what about your educational background? Could you give us some details on that,
Absolutely.
please?
So I actually did not finish college. I became a flight attendant when I was 21 years old. And, you know, for my generation, it's very rare for us to stumble into a job that pays well. You know, that kind of doesn't exist. And I was very blessed to fall into a career that paid well. And so I made the decision to not go into debt for school. And so I've been paying out of pocket. And so I go part-time and I pay out of pocket. I'm about 12 credits away from my associate's degree.
Okay. And what are your studies?
I'm planning on doing a double major in African studies and business. You know, my passion is community organizing and community activism. And luckily, you don't need a degree to do good things for
You're
your
right.
community.
You're
And
right.
so, you know, one of my greatest heroes, Malcolm X, changed the world and didn't even have a high school diploma.
Okay.
And so I think I represent a brand of politics that says enough with the titles, enough with the accolades, enough with the name recognition. What have you done for communities like ours? And I think that's why, you know, my write-in campaign has been gaining a lot of traction.
Okay, okay. So, November the 7th, am I correct?
Yes.
Is the election.
Absolutely.
Okay, I need you, since we have to write your name in, I need you to spell it for the people.
Yes.
Take your time and spell it slow.
Absolutely.
Get a
So-
pencil, get a pen, get some paper so you can write this down.
Absolutely. Listen, it is a very unique name, but it is spelled N as in Nancy, G as in Gary, U, V as in Victor, U. That's my first name, Nguvu. My last name, T as in Tango, S as in Sam, A as in Alpha, R as in Robert, E as in Echo, Tesare. You can tell I've done that before, right?
Oh, of course,
And
of course.
and my name is Swahili. It means defend your power, translated.
Defend your power, and that's what you're going to be doing for us.
Absolutely.
Is defending our power.
Absolutely. It's what I've been doing. It's what I do now, and it's what I plan to do, especially should the people of District 2 decide that they want me as their representative.
Well, we need someone young, and we need someone with young ideas to come to the forefront.
Yeah.
And I thank you so much for sharing with us on today.
Hey, I appreciate
And we
you having
want you all to go out and vote on the 7th. Please remember Desari's name. We're going to have him spell it again for us. Desari?
N as in Nancy, G as in Gary, U, V as in Victor, U, T as in Tango, S as in Sam, A as in Alpha, R as in Robert, E as in Echo, Nguvu Tesare.
Okay, you got that, everyone, I hope. And we want to make sure that we get this young man into office. We're going to support you in every way we can here.
Thank you.
At least I am, and my
I
show
appreciate
will.
it. Absolutely.
And maybe before the election, we can have you back
I
again.
would love that. I would love
and
that.
so once again, I say thank you. We're going to go to a commercial break at this time, and we'll be right back. Thank you.
Robert Show. On the Robert Show.
Sit back and enjoy real time.
On the Robert Show.
Discussing politics, the things that make us tick.
On the Robert. On the Robert. On the Robert Show. Show. The Robert Show.
What if you had a chance to do it all over? What if you found that chance to make things right? To take back from what the enemy has stole from you. It's time to wake up. It's time to wake up and fight. For the battle of righteousness is yours. And we take it by force.
Beat 'em up, man.
Wondering how to get out, or should I stay right in the same place? Oh, can I
The Robert Show.
We travel all around the world, from city to city, state to state, to bring you the world news. Come on and tune in. You need to find out what's going on. And you're watching WHPR, TV 33, Comcast 91. Let's talk with Robert and Precious.
We're going to go into our world news segment, and you know Erica Crawford always takes over that segment, so I'm giving it over to you, Erica.
Thanks for having me again.
Oh, you're always welcome.
Today I'm going to report on unfortunate news. According to CNN, Hurricane Harvey is the devastating storm that hit Texas and, of course, Houston and all the surrounding areas. The massive flooding trapped thousands of people, and this hurricane is over 132 miles per hour.
Wow.
It already dropped 11 trillion gallons of water. And then they predict that over 14 trillion gallons of rain is still going to hit Texas. What do you guys view on that? I mean, we have to really pray for them.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, my prayers go out to the people in Texas. I have a lot of family and friends out there, and you know, in the days after the hurricane hit, you know, we all were texting our family and friends and making sure that, you know, they were safe. And you know, I think that, you know, right now, obviously the main priority is making sure that people are getting out safely and getting to safer ground, drier ground, and then after that, the real work begins of making sure that that the poorest and least advantaged of the victims in this flood really get the help that they need.
Yes, because they really need all the help they can get.
Absolutely.
Most definitely, most definitely. You know, I have a cousin in Houston.
Really? Did you check? Did you call to check up?
I called
okay.
her yesterday.
And they're okay.
They're
cool.
okay. They're doing
okay.
great. They're doing fine. I told her, well, keep in touch with me so we'll know what's going on. But it's devastating, you know. It's devastating.
It really, really is. And even over 316,000 people are there without power. Even according to the 911 calls, over 56,000 calls was made within a 15-hour span, because it was so many people calling in like, oh my God, the storm is really hit Texas. So we definitely have to pray for them. And it says over 2,000 people actually has been rescued, and they are asking anyone in the Houston area, if you have a boat, please volunteer your services to rescue the people, because they only found, I guess, a couple of people that's, that is, deceased. But unfortunately, they still have more people missing because so many buildings and businesses, schools, everything has been shut down. There's even the roads are just covered with so much water that is covering all the cars. And I'm like, I was looking at it and researching. I'm like, oh my gosh, we really have to pray for them, So a great thing is that Red Cross is serving 130,000 meals a day
that's
to
wonderful.
help the people that's been hit by this devastating storm. So anybody in Houston that has a boat, please go out and rescue. I'm just remembering things that I went through, growing up, that storms that hit Metro
Right,
Detroit.
right.
It was kind of devastating. Even the blackout, I remember, a lot of people were on their porches, and I really think that, the government or, like you're running for city council, we really need to make efforts to prepare for things that happen, like this disaster that happens,
Most
so,
definitely. Most
so
definitely.
I hope that, in the future, across the world, we start preparing devastating. We have a lot of groups that's willing to, so everyone out there, even us,
Right.
if we want to donate or help, we can go to donate at the Red Cross, because I already said they was giving out all the meals. And also, Americares.org is an organization. If you donate $10, they will donate $200 towards aid for the victims of the hurricane.
Oh, that's great.
Which will be
That's
great.
great.
And two other organizations, All Hands is another organization you can donate, and also Global Giving. They're trying to raise over $2 million to help the victims, because of course
It's going to be needed.
It's going to be
Even-
needed.
even more than that, you
And
know.
because it's probably a millions of dollar damages from this hurricane.
It's going to be a massive cleanup.
It
you know.
is, it is. But
So-
we're definitely praying, and we're definitely giving out this information. I'm going to leave this at the station, because if you want to donate and you can't make it to Houston to help, I'm going to leave this information so anyone out there can donate and help the victims.
Oh, that's
So,
wonderful. Yes,
hey,
yes.
that's our world news. So I
That's
guess
our
it's,
world news.
it's question of the day. I
Question
guess.
of the day is next. Our question of the day.
Question of the day. Question of the day. Question of the day.
Let's talk about love, politics, dreams, and things. Family, entrepreneurs, and everything.
Question of the day. Let's talk about money, cars, clothes, you name it. We got it on the Robert Show.
Welcome back. As you can see, I got and Google. Did I
You
pronounce
said that.
right?
I think
You almost had it right.
He was
Okay.
there.
I don't know what it is about this V.
I don't either, but
He was there. Hey, that's pretty good.
and we got Alonzo with us as always, and Alonzo's up
America.
here, and he's going to do the question of the day. So I'm just going to give it over to you, Alonzo.
Okay, the question of the day is concerning something that we all had anticipated, had been waiting to see, the Floyd versus what's his name, McGregor, McLoser. I'm sorry,
Something. I
that's,
think the second one was right.
The second one.
Yeah, I think that was his name.
Amen, brother. No, so the question of the day is, do that fight really count for Floyd? Do it really count? I mean, he's fighting would the fight count if he wasn't I guess because I made this up myself, right? So I had a couple theories about the fight, because I really feel like the fight wasn't a real fight, like we all sometimes feel like. I feel like it really was like a money grab. Like, look, I just really want y'all money, so let me give y'all some entertainment, which is I understand the business, but do we really declare this to be a real official fight?
I mean, a lot of these are not real fights anymore. I mean,
Okay.
it's not like boxing ain't like it used to be. You
Okay.
know?
Okay.
But I mean, a win is a win. He won, so I mean, he keeps his record.
He
and,
does.
You know, he would have won eventually if they would have let the fight keep going. So I think.
He was knocking them out. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
The first four. What y'all think about the first 4 rounds? The first 4 rounds. Well, let me explain. The first 4 rounds, McGregor was real aggressive. He was trying to prove a point. He really tried to knock Floyd out, but Floyd, he's fast. No one can catch him. He's Floyd Mayweather. It is what it is. And I really thought it was gonna be a great fight, but now that when it got to like the 10th round, the 9th round, the 7th round, I knew like, okay, Floyd just giving us some, and he's stalling. He could have really landslided this if he wanted to. That's how I feel.
Well, I mean, disclaimer, I didn't I didn't watch the fight. I didn't pay for it.
You smart man.
But I wasn't inspired, this go around. And to be completely honest, I'd be remiss if I didn't put this out there.
Okay.
I'm really not in a habit of supporting men who abuse women. So, I think that we as a people and as a community, I think we have to hold ourselves to a better standard in terms of who we're supporting and giving our money to. So, I was fine just watching the recap on the news and seeing how it went down, but I got to stand in solidarity with my sisters. While I have this platform and say that it's never okay for a man to put his hands on a woman, and he's very unremorseful for his behavior too. So, the fight from what I heard was good, but I think, to be honest, until that brother dies, that's gonna be what I talk about when it comes to him.
All right. Well, okay. Well,
I ain't mean to throw you for a loop.
You did, but it's all right. 'Cause I understand I understand. I have an activist up here.
Yeah.
So activists, y'all principles are y'all principles, and y'all at 10 at all times.
Man, you gotta be.
Okay.
It was people who was on 10 that made it so that you and I can live the lives we live today.
That's true, and I respect that. You're on your MLK, and I respect that wholeheartedly. Last question, one more about him, because nonetheless, he's still a legend at what he does.
Absolutely.
So nonetheless,
Absolutely.
So do we put him up there with Ali? Do we? He's forever. Is he's carved in stone? Is he that legend?
Nah, he'll never be. He'll always be rich. He'll always have his record. But somebody like Ali, he took a stand, and he was principled. And he was about the business of his people.
Right.
Yeah, he was an activist.
Floyd is about the business of Floyd.
Right.
And so, a legend is more than just about how good you are at a sport.
Right.
It's about, your character and your integrity and what you do with that platform that God gives you.
All right, and that's all I wanted to talk about. The question of the day. Back to you, Robert.
Well, I didn't get in on that one.
That's cool. We got 20 seconds left.
But that's good. That's good. But why would you consider the fight, though? 20 seconds left.
Yeah.
Okay. And Google, so glad that you were with us today.
Thank you for having me.
Would
Pleasure
you
being
give
here,
out
man.
your website again for the people?
Visit my website, nguvutasare.com. You can find me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And, go to my website. Give me your information. I'd love to keep in touch with you.
Okay. Thank you once again for sharing with us on today.
Thanks for having me.
Alonzo, as always, thank you. Erica, thank you. So we thank you for watching The Roberts Show today. And that's it for us today until the second Monday, in September. So we're signing off now, and you all have a good day.
Sit back and enjoy real time.